Hi guys, so this is a video about the circumference of a circle. So again, one of the basic things that you need to know about circles is the difference between the diameter and the radius of a circle. So you need to understand that first before you look at this. If I was to take a circle and the distance from the center to the outside was 3 centimeters, that is actually the radius. So that's what the radius is. It's the distance from the center to the edge of the circle. Um, the diameter then is the distance from one edge to the other edge of a circle, but it must go through the center. So the diameter is always twice the radius. So the diameter is always twice the radius. So if I was given a circle like this, well, to go back to the first circle, the diameter of that circle would have to be 6 because it's twice times 3, 2 times 3. So the diameter there is 6. If I was given another circle and we were told that the radius was 7 centimeters, well then the diameter the full way across the circle, or if it was to extend on the radius out to the edge, would have to be 14. So, diameter is always twice the radius. So you'll realize straight away when you look at this formula that you need to understand what diameter is, and you need to be able to find the diameter easily. The radius of this circle then, you can see from the center to the outside is 4. Therefore, the diameter has to be twice that. It has to be 2 times 4, which is 8. So uh, that's all I need then. I can just put it into the formula. An easier way of saying it is pi times d, or pi d. Uh, so if I'm to work out the circumference then of this circle, I'm going to just do pi multiplied by 8, and then you can just put it into your calculator. Your calculator will just give you 8 pi when you put it in first. That doesn't really help you because it's basically the same thing, but that is actually your answer in terms of pi. So if you were asked to give your answer in terms of pi, then that's all you need to put in is just 8 pi. But if you press your SD button on your calculator, then it'll give you 25.13. And that would be centimeters. So I'm rounding that off to 2 decimal places as well. So that's what we've just figured out, is that the distance, if I was to start here on the circle and walk all the way around it, back to the start, I would have walked 25.13 centimeters. So that's all you really need to remember. You just need to remember that circumference is pi times d. The reason that this formula works, or well, basically where pi comes from. So this symbol pi, you should have seen it before, but if you haven't, if you were to take any circle, doesn't matter what circle you pick, you could pick a circle outside or at your house or whatever. If you were to measure how far it is all the way around the circle, and then if you were to divide that by what the diameter of the circle is, so we'll just say, I mean, in this case, the diameter was 25.13, I've worked it out, and the circumference was 25.13, and the diameter is 8. If you're to divide those two, if you're to do 25.13 divided by 8, what you'll end up getting is 3.14, which you should know is pi. So if you were to take the circumference of any circle in the world, doesn't matter what size it is, and you're to divide it by that circle's diameter, you will actually always get 3.14. So 3.14 just works out as basically what the diameter is being multiplied by to get the circumference. That's the reason it got a name pi. So let's just try a couple of questions. Okay, so here's two questions. So what I want you to do is to find the circumference of both of them. So in the first one, you're given the diameter straight away. In the second one, you're given the radius. So the radius isn't really any good to you. when using the formula. So you need to use the radius in order to find out what the diameter is, and then you put the diameter into the formula. So the formula in both cases will be pi d, or pi times d. So if you want to just pause the video there now, and can I ask you to round the answer um, to 2 decimal places again. So just pause the video now and then play it on, and I'll go through the answers. So my first one, you're going to do pi multiplied by 9, and then when you put it into the calculator, it just gives you 9 pi. So you'll have to press your SD button again, and then it gives you 27.27. So it gives you 20, sorry, actually gives you 28. So 28.27. So it gives you 28.274333388. So when you round it off to 2 decimal places, then the 4 means that the 7 just stays the same. Second one, you should be able to spot that the diameter here will be 12 because the radius is 6, halfway across the circle. Now I know it's not drawn very well here, but what we're saying is that the radius was 6. So diameter then has to be the full way across, so that will be 12. So you do pi times 12, and then when you put it into your calculator again, it'll just give you 12 pi. So you need to press the SD button, and that gives you 37 point, it actually gives you 37.699. So that would actually round off to 37.70, because the second 9 means that, well, the third decimal place where the 9 is means that the second decimal place is a 9 already, but so that has to go up. So that'll go up to a 0, and then the next one, so the first decimal place then goes up by 1 to a 7. So 37.70 and centimeters. So I should be putting in centimeters for both of them, because we've worked out the distance all the way around the circle. So remember, circumference is the same thing as perimeter radius, the distance all the way around the circle.